For
You
real.
you know what I'm gonna do? If I
Alright,
see you
ladies and
guys
gentlemen,
kissing on the battlefield, I'm gonna throw
appreciate
a
y'all
fucking fireball at you
waiting
guys.
I'll
to
throw
break a
my
sword,
dagger
so
at you.
I think we're pretty much ready to get started here. Um, Thanks for your
Nah, I'm
patience.
Okay.
ready.
Hopefully your break was long enough.
Pull out now.
To get started, as I told you at the beginning, the Dungeon Master will be describing to you the situation your characters are in. And
Yeah, so pay attention.
I know some of you are new, so just to remind you, once I finish telling you what's going on, typically the crew will take some time to discuss what they want to do before deciding on what they want to tell the Dungeon Master what the character will actually do. So that's just how we kind of do things here. If you want to take action immediately, that's fine. Just let the Dungeon Master know. And then once you choose
I
your
have a
action, of
genuine
course, I'll tell
question.
you the results once everyone has put some input into the game, right? Everyone's played their input or played their character. So, uh, yeah, before we get started, some of you have questions or concerns. What's up?
Okay.
Yeah.
So like I I I played D&D before, but it was like really sucky. Um, I'm not like familiar. Uh, are two females allowed to make out on the battlefield?
Hey.
You can try it if you
Genuine
want.
question, promise.
You can try anything you want.
Will we die though? Will we die?
In the middle of a
We're
fight,
sacrificing ourselves, don't worry.
Will
it
I
could
get to
happen.
roll to see if I survive?
There could be
Let's
some
say the
dice
loser
rolls
could
if
just
anyone
act as
decides
an
to act
enemy.
against you and tries to kill you while you're taking such an action. The goal of the game, though, is
Yeah,
that
I'm gonna
you're
throw a
forming a team.
fireball.
You can
I'm
try
gonna
I'm
pull
gonna
whatever
throw
you
a
that
want,
freak.
but
fireball at them.
you're one crew, um,
I'm gonna pull that
and
freaky shit and hold my dagger to
success
her
or
throat while I'm
failure
kissing her.
depends
Sorry,
on
I need to calm
everyone's
down.
ability to work together, right? So,
Okay.
alright. Um, you can try anything you want. It's Dungeons and Dragons. It's just
Go
that
ahead,
you
Gasman.
can also get voted out of
So
the
wait,
game,
so you do
though.
the whip and
So,
nanny and a black flip at the same time.
we do have three expectations. That's very simple here. So we only have three rules. As long as you are mature, respectful, and courteous about what you do,
Oh,
that's fine. If you cannot,
I'm
then
Yeah.
respectful, not courteous, and then I'm also very not mature. I'm happy. I'm sorry.
Okay. I've got a
I'm
question. What is AC? What does AC mean?
AC represents your armor class, which reflects how hard it is for your character
Okay.
to be
Why
hit.
does
AC the
most
first.
why
So,
does most of us have the same AC? It didn't change
probably
it.
because you didn't have any armor on. So, armor class changes depending if you wear armor or you have a high dexterity.
For instance, if you
Okay.
have a heavy version of something, you probably have double the AC of what it says.
Higher armor class is
So
worse.
I
It's
have
what the
I think
8
enemies
that's
roll
AC
or add to
with
the roll to hit you.
okay. So I have an 8 AC with the amount of stuff that I have because I have a
Possibly,
shield on.
yeah, because you have a shield. Possibly, that's not that's not fully accurate. I usually calculate armor class once you get into your first combat, so that number there is not very accurate right now. But
Okay.
say you were in a combat and you decide to defend with your light shield, actively defend with it, then yeah, you would get a bonus.
Would I get more bonus if I was to brace with the shield with both hands?
That's the same thing, right? So the idea is you put the
Ah,
shield in
okay.
front of you, and you're not lowering the shield to fight back. If you lower the shield, you have less protection, right? But that's the only way you'll be able to swing your weapon. You have to lower it or move it out of the way so you can stab, right? So, but that means you're
Yeah.
not completely covered if you have to do that, right? And if you're poking a weapon over the shield, your hand is exposed now, which means you're not fully covered, right? So
Right, right,
then,
right. Okay.
all right. And also you can't
You
see.
like what I sent, Zoe?
All right. So,
Um,
any other questions or
no.
concerns before we start?
Alright.
All right. Awesome. So, it's currently the middle of summer right now, and your party is gathered around a large camp. This camp is belonging to a bunch of other adventurers and mercenaries who have gathered at the ruins of an old stronghold known as Kaz. It's in the middle of a far wilderness. Uh, a far march from near territories, maybe roughly 3-6 miles away, right? So it's further than most local caverns or ruins, so that's not too far, right? Anyway, it's in the middle of this jungle, right? You're surrounded by trees and birds and vegetation. It's hot. It's humid. There are insects everywhere, and you're preparing for an expedition into the ruin. The party is gathered here with the idea that they'll be working together as a team to hunt down monsters in this ruin and find any treasures. And you've been offered payment for anything you bring out. So any monsters you kill, bring back proof of their deaths, and the proof would be, of course, perhaps their heads. So in the form of their heads, that would be proof. When it comes to treasure, any treasures you bring back, you can sell it to collectors and other buyers out here at camp, ready to buy your treasures that you haul out of the ruin. But you've recently arrived here as adventurers to go on an adventure into this ruin, right? Now, if you want to do something differently, no worries. You can discuss and figure things out, and maybe collectively your party will decide to do something differently. But what's brought you together is that your characters, before you start playing as them, gathered here at Cascaton to form a party to explore this dungeon, right? This ruin, the depths below it. So that's the situation you're in, and now you guys can tell me what you want to do or think about. Now, before you do, you might want to take some time to discuss your ideas. And typically, you might want to appoint a leader, right? So, who would like to start
I
us
just
off?
want to
Yeah,
ask
sure.
a question.
Yeah.
I just want to ask a question. Does it have to be their whole head, or can we like chop off an ear? Like if it's a goblin or something, we can chop off their ear, show them the goblin ear.
You could try that. Yeah, you think about it, you ask about
Like it would be
if
less
that's
money.
enough proof, but some buyers will pay you for that, some will pay you less for that. It guarantees, there's reasons why it has to be the head. Some say it has to be the head because what if you just find the ear off of it and already, or cut off their ear, but that goblin's not actually dead, right? He just sold you his ear, right? How do they know it's actually dead? So some buyers are lenient and will buy it, right? Usually the more lenient buyers though will rip you off, right? As well, they'll take the ear and pay you less, right, for the work you do, right? Whether you were successful or not. So just gotta think about that too.
Okay.
Right.
Do people in this world use the heads for like potions and stuff, like alchemy?
No, the heads are just proofs of the kills. The law, it's a law that monsters are to be hunted and killed. The government has taxes that are paid up by the citizens, and they pay. That money goes into, of course, the cost of fees that that your towns will pay to for you guys to hunt these monsters down, right? So it's proof of your kills,
Alright.
doing your job, right? Monster
Who?
hunters.
Okay. Who would like to be the leader, or who do you want to appoint as the leader?
Me.
We could not let a new player be the
Guys,
leader.
I've played D&D multiple times. Please.
Okay.
This isn't
Immediately, if
D&D.
you're starting to ask like that, you are definitely not going to be the leader.
Aw, poo.
Damn. Rude much.
That is
Anyway.
that is too much eagerness with the kind of role that you'll be
No,
endeavoring on.
I don't think she's eager. I think it's just the fact that she has a huge ego, and I love that ego because she's amazing.
Yo, what the freak?
Like in a
It's
good
not-
way. It's a good ego. It's a good ego. Like you know that you can like lead everybody. Like you know you can.
I'll vouch
you-
for Odysseus.
I vote for myself, Odysseus.
Alright,
Personally,
so I'll let you guys
Victoria.
freely discuss for another minute, and then after that I'll
Really?
organize.
That's
I
so
feel
nice.
like I should be the leader. I think I have the highest intelligence
Too
in the
much.
party.
No.
No.
And plus,
You yap
Okay.
so long.
let me finish.
Too much.
Plus, my character cannot actually physically fight. I'm not that strong, so I'll be able to
Exactly.
watch from behind.
I feel like the leader
Be
needs
able
to
to
be
lead the
strong.
I still think
I'll
Victoria.
I'll vouch for Heed, maybe.
I'm just here for the ride, my friend.
I still vote Victoria.
If we're voting, if I would also hold on. Let me look.
I won't be
I'm
able
at
to do
work.
much help
See my screen?
with the
I'm
party.
actually right now,
Guys,
so-
can we play any mini
Oh,
miny
wow.
mo? Can we do
I won't
any
be able
mini
to fight
mini mo?
much,
This
so
is too
I'll
much.
need.
I
need
said
the help.
Victoria.
guys.
Right, quite
If
literally.
you guys
Yeah.
ask for any questions or anything, I can more than likely answer it, but I usually don't talk unless spoken to, so just a heads up.
Okay. because Geese, we're just trying to choose a person
Are
to
you good?
lead the party into the dungeon,
Victoria.
and I would
You don't
like your
Victoria,
necessarily
opinion
yeah.
have
on.
to go
Who
into the
votes for
dungeon. You can
Victoria?
also go other places.
There's
Like,
2
I know
votes
there's
for
kobolds in there, but I don't know what else is in there. So it's like it's up to you guys what you want to do. We're low
Alright,
level. We have
so
level ones, a lot of
Well,
health. So
you've been
I'll
discussing
just
your
I'll just
plans
say
all morning
this.
on who should lead you.
there's
You've made a lot of
there's
decisions. You've provided a lot of
I
ideas,
think
but let's
we
get
should just go
organized.
in there. I think we should just all go in there to kill 1 monster each, so we all get a bit more money and be a bit more prepared.
Alright, so as
Right? What do you
we're
guys
gonna
think?
take turns now. So as Akami shares his idea on what we should do, Star, right? So the party is trying to figure out who should lead them and maybe what we should do. We already know why we're here, right? We're here to hunt monsters and treasures. Okami gave a suggestion that we should only go in there to kill 1 monster each so we all make some profits and we can, you know, maybe improve our gear or our characters after that. What do you think, Star? Should we discuss that further or do you want to appoint, you want to decide who's leader? What would you like to say or do?
I think we need to figure out who's the leader.
here's
Alright,
what I say:
Personally.
roll a
So-
dice. Keep me out of the dice roll. Whoever wants to be leader, say I. Count the number.
Aye.
Divide it out. Let it do.
so Star wants to figure out who the
I-
leader is and she sounds like she wants to lead, right? He does
I
provide his
also
own
want to
ideas
lead.
and suggestions. I'm trying to make sure everyone has a chance to provide what they think. So I'm gonna give you guys, I'm gonna have you guys take turns. That way we're making some progress, right? Instead of just bickering. So he does provide his own idea that yes, we should pick a leader, but we should pick it randomly, right? Emmy, what do you think about the situation? The crew is discussing their plans around a fire, right, before they go into the dungeon. Okami has suggested how we should conduct our adventure. Star and Heath have discussed how we should pick a leader. What is your idea on the situation, or what do you want to do?
What are we talking about?
So listen carefully. Heath and Star are talking about who should be leader. Okami is providing ideas of how we should, of course, conduct our adventure, or what we should actually do when we get inside. But what do you think? Do you want to talk with Okami about what we should do, or do you want to help pick a leader,
I
or
wanna
something
help pick
else?
a leader.
You want to help pick a leader? Who do you think should be leader?
Victoria.
Victoria. Alright, so as Star and Heath are trying to figure out who should lead our crew, right? And Akami's like talking about something kind of different, separate from the rest of the crew. You're suggesting, hey, we should have Victoria lead us, right? So you appoint Victoria. And as you're appointing Victoria, they're discussing who should lead, and Akami's sharing his ideas on what we should do in there. Odysseus, what would you like to do, or say, or think about on your turn? So Odysseus is
Muted, by the way.
yeah, he's muted. He's just dozing off, right? As you guys are figuring out the situation, he's just kind of like around the fire, you know, just kind of snoozing off a little bit. Maybe he didn't go to sleep on time, right? Luca, how about you? What do you think about the situation? What do you want to do or say or think about?
I just want to be the mapper. Just draw and give advice. Realistically, if we get into a fight, half of us are gonna die anyway. We don't have a lot of equipment.
Yo, don't think like that, you monkey.
Damn. Be,
Don't think
let's
like
be
that.
let's be empower. Like let's be motivated.
Positivity, bro. Positivity.
This is why
Um,
Victoria should be
alright.
the leader. Just saying.
I'm in the middle of a thought. Please let me finish. Regardless, go in there. Let's try to map out the dungeon. Let's try to find any patrol patterns. Look for secret tunnels. And if we can,
Secret tunnel.
Right.
let's ambush a couple of lone goblins. Because if we get in a fight with equal numbers, it's not gonna go our way. So just be stealthy, and let's get in, get out. That's all I say.
All right.
Thank you.
So we've
I
heard
want to
from
take interest in Luca's plan. I like
Akami.
Luca's plan.
We have heard from Luca. They're not very concerned with who should lead us. They're just providing their ideas on what we should actually do when we get in there. Kami's agreeing with Luca, right, as they kind of go back and forth discussing what they think. Some of you react negatively to what Luca says because he reacts, somewhat negatively to the situation you're in. It's a pretty risky and dangerous situation we're in after all. But Luca, of course, have suggested to your crew, in case you weren't paying attention, that when we get in there, he wants a map for your crew, and he thinks that we should, of course, be careful about what battles we pick. We should never go against anything that's equal or greater in number than our team, and perhaps we should actually think about maybe ambushing monsters instead, setting traps, things like that. As Luca is providing those suggestions, it's Victoria's turn now. So Victoria, as a whole party, has been discussing, figuring the situation out. You were appointed leader by Emmy, at least. What do you think about the situation? Do you want to volunteer yourself as leader as well, or you want to discuss something else, or do something else? What do you want to do on your turn?
Victoria thinks that it's too early on to decide who can be leader. We haven't even come across any, events or situations that I think we should wait for an event to occur to see who's the best at taking charge, and then we can appoint a leader. For now, I think I'm gonna go with Okami and Luca. Let's just go in there, map the shit out, and then see what we encounter.
Alright, very good. So we've all had some time to discuss and share our ideas. It might be time to take action or to further discuss the ideas. We've had discussions on who should lead us. Victoria, of course, was appointed by at least one of the character, and she also thinks that something differently, right? She refuses to be the leader right now. She thinks it's too early to decide who should lead us. Maybe we should just work together as a team without a leader, and just get in there and work together. And maybe go on with, of course, Lucas and Okami's plan. Just kind of scout it out, uh, fight smaller groups of monsters if possible, and mainly map out the situation, right? Get an idea, scout
I
out the situation.
I would like to combine the two ideas of just if when we go in there, we try and separate people. If there's at least three, we should all try to focus together on those three people. But we should at least go into groups of three each
We're not
when
splitting
we're
up.
inside the
That's
dungeon.
No, we're not
stupid.
splitting up. We
If
cannot. It's too
if we're
early
scouting,
on.
if we're
We're not
scouting,
I can
splitting
tell
up.
we're
you
not
this:
fighting.
the enemies we're fighting spawn pretty good sized numbers. So if you're gonna try to fight them, that's how it's gonna be. You're gonna spawn between, I believe, 6 and 16 if we're gonna deal with them. So
All
I
right,
highly
thank you
recommend you guys
for.
pick somebody who can take action.
All right, I thank you for your input, Heath. I think we should just go in there on Heath's intuition there and fight something. Fight a small group. Luca, you can take point. I think you should do that. You want to map out the dungeon, and we'll follow you from here on.
Ah, great. I love taking point. Sure, I'm in front when we go to the dungeon. I'll recommend we move cautiously, and hopefully, I'll also be using my ability to check for secret doors when we do enter the dungeon jam.
All right.
Quick
I think the two
question. Does
fighters
anybody
should.
here I'm so sorry for cutting you off. Does anybody here have a torch? What if we encounter like dark rooms?
Um,
Oh.
I recommend we
things
don't
are-
light torches because I actually have infravision, and as long as you stay near me, we can actually ambush in that case.
Right. I think the fighters should follow behind you just in case you need the protection.
I don't disagree.
What do you think?
That's fine. I like to have two fighters behind me. We'll move silently. Hopefully, keep those with the most dex in the middle and the front of the party, so we can stay quiet and hopefully not give up our positions.
All right.
Sounds like you got a plan.
The other thief. Do you have night vision
I'll
as
be
well,
on the tail.
or does all thieves have night vision?
I do not have night vision.
Is it just tech?
Neither do I, to my
Elves.
knowledge. But I'll
Elves
say
have night vision.
one cleric and one thief follows behind the mapper.
I will be at the
Alright.
very
Yeah.
rear, have a warbow, have the longest range, and I highly recommend you guys have a torch ready whenever you go in. Whenever we enter the corridor, whenever we enter the corridor, we're gonna have to set up when we get there. So when we get there, everybody knows what they're doing. I think we're good to go.
I'll stay behind
Alright.
because I have a crossbow in case we encounter any enemies.
I'll
can,
stay in the
do
middle of
long
the
range.
party. I won't be able to help much, but I still have a buckler and short
I
sword.
I have a
Who has the
longbow.
dagger?
I go with Victoria.
Yeah, that's perfect. Who has
I-
the dagger? I remember when someone had
Also
a
have a
dagger.
I
dagger.
have a dagger, but I run a warbow, so I have the longest range out of
Have.
everybody.
I have a dagger and a longbow.
Does anyone have a sword? like a short range weapon?
I have a short sword. That's me.
Oh, okay. Then you can be towards the front of the group. Sounds like a plan,
Yeah,
guys.
I'll be right behind the fighters. I'll follow Luca. See
And
if I can help him as much as I can.
what is Cleo's
Like we're
position?
good, DM.
All right.
I think we got a party set.
So your party has had some time to freely discuss among themselves, and it's time to actually figure out what everyone will actually do or decide. Right. So Kami,
Yeah.
party's still standing not far from the entrance, making plans, and you've had some time to discuss with your crew and share your ideas. But what will you actually do? What will you prepare before you go inside, and where will you stand?
Okay. Luca,
Repeat
you'll
that
be
one more.
stand-
Oh, sorry.
So
I
you
dare
wanna,
you. Can you repeat that for
what do
me?
you wanna do, or do you wanna keep discussing? It sounds like you wanna keep discussing.
My main goal.
I'm gonna let Lucas decide first.
Okay,
We have
so
a marching
you'll wait.
order. Yeah, so we have a marching order. Let's go in there. We'll move very carefully, very cautiously, very slowly, so we get bonuses in stealth. And I'll spend each of our turns checking for secret doors every time we move forward.
Right, right. So if
And
you have a
yeah,
marching order, does Okami know where he stands? Because I'm asking him where he stands, and he doesn't seem to know, so he's asking you to decide first.
I'm standing behind the fighters that are behind Luca.
Okay, so perhaps in rank
But
3. So Okami, third rank.
what fighters are behind Luca?
Yeah.
There's Heath and there's a cleric. I forgot who it was.
Me.
It's clear. It's Star. It's Star.
Alright, so Okami decided to go into the third rank. Um, do you want to prepare any equipment?
I
My
do want to take my.
staff.
It's
I want my
Okami's turn
staff
right now.
out.
So I'm asking
I do
Okami.
want to take my I do want to take my short sword and my buckler.
Okay.
someone should prepare. We should at least have 2 people with torches ready to be lit because most monsters don't like bright light. So when things go loud, we should have light ready.
That's all my items, isn't it? Because I'm already wearing everything else.
I don't have a torch.
Alright, so
Nobody
as
has a
Okami is
torch.
getting ready to go in there, right, for his turn, Star, it's your turn now. So, do you want to further discuss with your crew, like Okami kind of was, before you take an action? Or do you already know what you want to do?
I just want to get ready to go in there. I want to get my staff out.
Right. Just your staff? And then, where would you like to stand as your party is making their way in, right? Gonna be the third rank,
Can you scroll
second,
down
or the
to her
front?
stuff? Can you scroll down to her stuff and decide?
I can,
Just
but
so
it
she can see
is
what
her
she has.
turn, right? So, yeah. If you want to see your sheet, here it is.
Yeah, I'll
So,
just take out my staff and wait for everybody else.
alright, just wait to get in there. Do you already know where you want to be in the party's marching order, or not yet?
Um, uh, I was behind one of the fighters, right?
You
You
were
can be behind me.
Okay,
Luca.
yeah, I'll be behind him.
So fourth rank.
Okay, and then, Emmy, it's your turn now. So, as Okami and Star are getting ready and figuring out where they want to stand, and the party is finishing up their discussion on how we should, of course, enter the dungeon. What do you want to do to prepare, or how do you want to enter?
Scroll to her
Um,
stuff.
I want to like make sure I have my longbow, and I will follow behind Victoria. I don't know.
Victoria hasn't chosen her place yet.
Oh yeah, that's
Alright,
true.
so you'll just try to get behind her
Well, I'll
wherever she
follow in the
picks.
back.
Yeah.
I'll follow in the back. Yeah, I'll follow in the back.
Alright. Heath, it's your turn now. Do you know what you want to do?
Rear flank. All the way to the rear.
Third rank, you said?
All the way
The
at the
rear.
rear. Do I have any
Fourth.
torches?
Torches. We can find out.
Pretty sure I used Mitch's torches last time.
Looks like you have no torches on you.
Shit. Do you have any money left or I'm out?
No. No money.
Okay. Yep. I guess I'm just chilling at the back. It is what it is.
That's okay.
You're
What
gonna need
weapons are you
torches in
bringing
that
with you?
place.
What
I'm
weapons
a
are you
warbow
bringing?
guy. Warbow and a
Alright.
dagger, brother.
Odysseus, how would you like to prepare? Or what do you want to do in your turn? I know you were dozing off earlier, but maybe you're back.
Nope, still
You
asleep.
just did it.
Alright. Looks like you never woke up to join your crew for this adventure, so we're just gonna drop him in this session.
You got any torches? Can I steal them?
Probably fell asleep in real life. Alright. Tech, Luca. So you decided that you would want to take point, and how else did you want to prepare before you went in?
I'll have my sling with rock, and I believe that is as much preparedness as. Actually, is there what is the nature around this area like?
Heavily forested, you're in the jungle pretty much.
Spend some time grabbing wood and maybe preparing a couple torches, makeshift torches that don't last long torches, but can we make life for the humies potentially if necessary?
Yeah, we're in a jungle. What if we can collect wood and make our torch on our own?
So the party is gathering at the entrance, preparing to go in. You don't want to gather yet? You want to take some more time to prepare further? Gather some torches?
I think two of
Can
comparative getting wood is not bad.
Alright, so
yeah. Before we're not going in yet. We're just trying to figure out our placements in the party
sure.
officially.
Uh,
What it would look like if we were in.
Alright. So we're still taking more time to prepare, right? Some of you are
Yeah.
trying to figure out where you're
By
going
the
to
way,
stand,
I know you
getting your equipment and weapons out. Some of you want to prepare further. No worries.
Yes.
Just yeah. Alright. And as Luca's going out to get some wood, with his sling and stones in hand, Victoria, what would you like to do on your turn?
I'll just take my crossbow out, getting ready for anything that's lurking around the corner. And
Do you want to form up or?
helping Luca find some
Okay.
wood.
So going out with Luca to get wood. So
Wait, is Heath? Who's a warrior or a fighter?
alright, so a few of you form up the
Emmy's a
entrance,
fighter.
figuring out how you want to enter.
What's up?
Turns out half the crew does not form up. They go out into the nearby woods or thickets to gather some wood, right? So this is a turn completed. You all had a chance to choose your action. I'm telling you the results of your actions, right? As some of you gather around the entrance, figuring out how to enter. Some of you leave the entrance and make your way into the woods to gather wood, right? Depending on what kind of wood you want and how long you want to get wood for, will determine, you know, how much time passes and such, and what you've got to do for it. So from what it sounds like, Luca is trying to gather maybe some branches to make torches with. Right?
Correct.
You do remember I was following him, right?
No,
I said I was following behind him.
no. I wrote your actions down on my thing. If you spoke out of turn, you didn't actually do it, right? So I give everyone a turn
No,
to
it was on my
decide.
turn.
Right? So
Okay.
it says third rank, shield, and short sword, right? Does not say follows Luca, right? If that was the case, you would have told me and I would have written it down. What I did write down was what you told me that you want to do, which was stand in third rank with your light shield and short sword. That's why I wrote it
I
down.
didn't
So
know
we
there
don't
was
have
ranks. I said follow Luca.
Okay, sure. Alright. You can now
That
start
doesn't
to
matter.
follow him. Alright. We'll take a small
Alright.
break. Please take 5. We've been playing for another 30 an hour, so take 5.
Alright. I'm gonna make a drink.
Can I say something right quick?
Yeah.
You guys got to win later.
Yeah.
The roll by crowd is
Rule by crowd.
D&D, rule by crowd. In other words, everybody has to put in their input. Because whenever you get into a battle situation, this DM specifically, you get 10 seconds, roughly 20 seconds per turn. If you talk during your turn, you will be attacked by the enemy. It's going to happen.
Oh, that's true.
Now this is just making me more confused.
And so that's I say dude that's going to go get the stuff. He seems to be making actions on his own. I feel like he'll pretty much make the calls, and I'll follow suit. If anybody wants to agree with this, we can go ahead and get this dungeon raid going.
Yeah, I'm trying to make calls and trying to interact with everyone. Not really
Yeah, the
caring about
tinderbox.
who's leader.
Okay, let's just make this simple. I'll be leader, even though I'm drinking tequila and I didn't want to be. Kimmy, you can be sergeant and map caller, and we're good. And the decision
There
made.
we go. Now we have the decision. Now what we're going to do, because we need to allow the captain to make the final rule. So whenever something happens, chances that we are going to be able to do something. Captain makes the call, we follow suit. If things go out of line and form breaks, every man for himself, they do what they need to. If you want to try to survive, you can. If you want to go try to stab the enemy, you can. That is completely up to you. But as long as we have rank form and rank file, we should be kind of okay. We do need light. So once we get light, once we figure that out, depending on how this works, because we don't have oil or anything, and we'll see if makeshift, whatever they're called, makeshift torches work. Because I don't think anybody here has a tinderbox, which means it's going to be a lot
I'm
harder to
confused.
get started.
Are we like replanning everything that we just planned right now?
No,
No,
because we're still in the
explaining.
same flank. Yeah, so we're setting up who is the captain. We've been pretty much trying to figure out who's doing what because there's no leadership.
Okay.
Once you get leadership, everything
I
works.
think I was the only one who actually wanted to be the leader.
Well,
No.
I'm going to just be honest here. I think that we're not very straight to the point, and I feel like even me, like this isn't about everyone else. This is also about me. I feel like we're all not very straight to the point, and I feel like we need to like speed it up because, like,
Mhm.
like we're kind of talking over each other. We're like not letting each other get to the point. Like I feel like we just need to have our minds made up by the time that
Correct.
our
So we have
turn is.
picked a captain and we have picked a lieutenant. Now all we got to do is follow rules. Whatever decision they make, we can either do what we want or follow the rules. Right? We follow in lane.
So
And so we're gonna line up.
Luca is the captain. I'm the sergeant.
Okay.
Lieutenant.
I
And
also
your decision are ironclad at this point. So what you do is what we do because there's too much
Right.
back and forth going on. Right?
Right. Because
Zach,
Luca is
work with you
currently on
guys?
point.
okay.
That will tend to change.
Wait, I'm confused. Who
And
actually wants to be leader?
Want and should
Me.
be different things, but
Because what I've seen is that like I don't see the point in being a leader if you don't want to be the leader. You know, like
have you
like
never
there's
heard of the
only
Whoever wants to
one.
quote?
be the leader is not leader.
Have you never heard of the quote?
Hold on,
Those
what's
who
his
want to
name?
lead shouldn't.
And I feel like Luca is a
So-
good leader. I really do, but also he's drinking right now.
Yeah, that's why I'm lieutenant.
Yeah, that's why I made him second.
I feel like the lieutenant should be the leader, and then I should be the next. What is it called? The lieutenant? I don't know. What's going on? What are they called
Lieutenant
again?
or sergeant, whatever you need to be called.
Interchangeable terms.
The people who actually want to be the leaders.
I
Yeah,
do
but
want to be
Those
the
two are the
leader.
guys in the. So now that we've decided that, who is leader? Name.
The leader is
Luca?
the guy. The guy
don't
with the
know his name.
purple.
Yeah.
I think.
Me and Luca are both leaders. Luca.
No, we have one
when
leader.
he cannot
One leader and then one
One?
secondary.
Okay,
I
so me.
think that Lucas shouldn't be the leader. Like I think y'all
I'm
just
gonna
like
be honest.
decided way too quick.
I also don't think a cone. How do you say your name? I'm gonna call you Aki. I also don't think Aki should be the leader.
I've
I think
played.
he should. He's
We got to decide who will be leader.
don't mind
Victoria
being
should be
leader.
I
leader.
think that we should do the one person that actually wants to be leader, and that's Cleo.
That's
And
it,
also,
that's
I've
clear.
seen her
We got
play.
that.
I've seen
So,
her
I
play.
do
She's
wanna be
whoever-
being really
What?
immature because I'm here. But once she like starts to get back into the game, she's going to be a great leader. Like I've played with her multiple times.
She is leader. We've already agreed. She's leader. All right, everybody good?
Everybody good.
I guess so. You
Cool,
just
now
assumed
who
that
is
I didn't
lieutenant?
want to be leader.
Alright, ladies and
I can
gentlemen,
be lieutenant. I don't
your
mind.
break is over, and it's time to get back into the game. Hopefully it was long enough. Thank you for your patience, and to get started again, I'm just gonna describe to you the situation that you're in, and then each of you will have a chance to choose what your character will do. Then we'll determine the result after. So, for the last turn, we spent some time figuring out how we would enter the dungeon. Some of the crew went out to gather some wood, right? So, those who went to gather wood, how much wood did you need, or for how long did you want to gather wood, right? And it sounded like you wanted branches. Is that the kind of wood you want? How many branches do you want to collect?
Let's see. As long as I can get, let's say, 4 to 5 solid shafts of wood, and that'd be decent enough. They only need to last a little while.
Alright, so let's say you grab some branches, right? Um, let's say they're about a foot long each. Is that how, or do you want 2 feet?
Just enough. Forearm length. Let's make it a foot and a half.
A foot and a half? Alright, so now
Yeah.
it's a pound and a half each. So you grab some branches. Let's say you grab like
I'm
4 of them. They're medium size, so a little over normal size sticks, right? Almost 2 feet long. And what do you do with them to create torches? You wanna get like, what are you gonna use as the fuel?
Is there any spare cloth, or let's see, or maybe I guess depending on the foliage, is there any type of vine? You said this is a jungle. Is there vines we could use as a
Yep.
type of tinder to wrap around these?
Yep. Now it's summertime
Yep.
and it's really hot and humid out in this area, so most of the vines are very green and will not burn, right? They might smoke if you have enough heat applied to them, right? But if you want
since I'm with
kindling
him,
or
I
tinder,
can give him.
what's up?
Can I give him ideas? Since I'm with him.
Yeah, yes, go ahead.
Why don't we try to get some sap from trees?
Can we get some sap from the trees to also use as a accelerant?
And
Oh, yeah,
probably
we
some
could get
bark.
snap.
Yep, yeah,
And
so you can
bark.
peel bark off the trees. You can get some sap. Now, some sap might be readily available on the trees, but whether that is enough sap is a different situation, right? And how you choose to collect the sap can determine how quickly you can acquire the sap. But we're on a time crunch, right? When this day ends, your adventure ends, right? And you made no profit margins.
It's still morning, isn't it?
It is still day. So the current time of day, though, we'll say it is currently 8:30 in the morning, right? So you're all in the woods. Collecting those branches did not take you long, right? That's very easy. You guys went around together, Victoria on guard, keeping
That
watch
took
for your
about
crew.
half an hour.
No, it took a couple minutes. It's been half an hour since the adventure began. Adventure began
Oh, okay.
when you guys gathered around the fire and began discussing. We've been planning and discussing for maybe half an hour, right? In the game world, at least. Maybe even longer. So, let's say a few of you are out gathering wood. We're determining how you're going to gather this wood, right? The situation is a few of you are out gathering wood, and we'll get back to the others once they figure out their situation. But those who are gathering wood, I'm asking you, how are you going to gather this wood so you can so you can make these torches? The goal is to create some torches, right? So, Okami's brought you some suggestions.
I got a. Yeah,
Right.
I got a few pieces of wood that won't burn because they're fresh off the trees, and I got it about the same length as what he got. I got a few.
Right, well, I'll tell you what you do have. As a crew, it sounded like, to me, Luca was gathering wood. Okami, you wanted to follow Luca around, or did you want to gather wood with him?
Yeah. Yes, follow him around and gather wood with him.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to do.
And then Victoria, you just wanted to guard them as they gathered this wood, right?
Yeah.
So the results of your actions turned out to be that you collected 5 branches. Say, Luca was gathering was it 5 just random branches from the ground, right? Roughly a foot and a half long, right? So say I go to Lucas' sheet and add it to his inventory. Scan it. Right. These are roughly, 1.5 foot long branches. So we'll do 1.5 foot branches. Tag 5 to represent, yes, 5 of them. And the comment, was it the same? Did you want to gather roughly 5 branches as well, or something else?
Yeah.
Alright. So same thing.
That'd be okay.
Yep. And the amount of time that would take is not very long. You're surrounded by wood everywhere. That'd be able to take you about a minute to decide and find 5 branches each, right? So 5 minutes, maybe only a 10 would pass then. One game turn is 10 minutes roughly. But with commute time, with searching time, and with gathering time, it should take you collectively roughly 10 minutes. So to 8:40. Right. It's all rough estimation of how long it would have taken you. All kinds of factors might play into it. But you both collected some branches, which is what the goal was, at least the first part of your task, was to collect branches. So step by step, while you get some work done. And as you were doing this, a few other members were hanging around, right? Maybe they'll do something differently now. So we understand what some of the crew was doing, right? From 8:30 to 8:40, they were gathering wood and supplies to build torches. Some of you were doing other things. This might include Star and Emmy. No, Emmy went off with Victoria actually. Victoria went off to guard them. So Emmy, as you followed Victoria around, did you just want to follow her, or did you want to do anything else as you followed her? Because she was guarding the 2 wood gatherers. Did you want to do
Wait.
anything?
I'm confused.
It says that you followed Victoria around, right? So while you followed her around, did you want to do anything else? Or did you want to help gather wood too? She was just guarding, sounds like she was just
I
guarding.
was meant to. No, I was meant to stay in the back with Victoria. Not
Yeah.
like.
No, she
That's
didn't.
following Luke
Wait,
Victoria.
so confused.
Yeah, so she's not staying anywhere. She's leaving, right? She's going out with some of the crew members to gather wood. So if you want to stay behind her, then you have to
Oh,
follow her around
then
at the very least. Or did you want to stay with the main group at the entrance?
I'll stay with the main group at the entrance.
Alright, so if you stayed with them, did you just want to wait in that time, or did you want to get some work done? Did you want to do anything?
What work is there to be done?
Well, originally the party was getting ready to go inside, but some of the crew members decided it might be better that we take some more time to prepare. So, do you have anything further to prepare?
How are we gonna light the torches?
Right, that's a good idea. So
We
you're
got a
thinking about that.
campfire already.
Maybe you want to, yeah, there's a campfire back at the main camp. Do you want to just head over there and just wait at the fire?
Should we wait over there, or should we just start a fire where we are?
You can't ask us. It's your turn.
Like I'm so confused.
I mean, you're around a
I
few
think
crew
that we should
members.
just.
You want to
I
ask
think
the
we
few?
should just like
Yeah, go ahead.
start an easy fire where we are, so we don't have to travel back and then travel back and forth.
You want to suggest this to those who are near you, or do you want to just start making it?
I want to suggest it.
Okay, so then they can react to this, and that's Heath and Star who are next to you, right? So those 2 are near you. Heath or Star, how do you want to respond to Emmy if you do want to respond?
I tell her we need to go back to the main place, grab some of the bedding we laid on, use that as torch fire because we know that they're not going to have any way to light the torches. Take the bedding that we had, rip it up, put it around the torches, make sure that's lined. We got the fire there. We could go ahead and light one torch with that fire, bring it in as we need more torches, light the other ones as needed.
Alright, so
basically
Heath
start
suggests
the
that we head back
fire
to
with
camp and get
the
some bedding somewhere.
material, okay.
Star,
Am I
how would
able
you
to
like to
put-
react or respond to the situation? So Emmy's asking for whether she should start a fire here, and you're at the entrance with Heath, and you guys were waiting for the rest of your crew. Heath was maybe gonna about to do something, but before he does take any actions, Emmy's like talking to him and you and asking if she should start a fire. And Heath is suggesting, yeah, we should. Perhaps we should go back to main camp and find some bedding we can use as fuel or kindling for our torches. And then, Star, it's your turn though. Do you want to provide your own ideas to their discussion, or do you want to take an action or something else?
Does anybody have anything to start fires like with us?
I wait.
Okay, so
Can
you
I?
ask the two of them if they have any like fire starting kit or anything like that. We can look over their gear real quick. Looks like when you look over Heath, he has nothing like that. And when you look over Emmy, looks like
Emmy's now.
oh yeah, her just
That's
changed
not
her
her
name
name now.
to Nanami. Okay, or
Nanami.
Namani. Yeah, alright, let me copy paste. Alright, so Namani also has no fire starting gear. Right, you look her over, she just has her bow and her dagger on her belt. Right, Heath has his helmet on, his shield, gambeson. He's holding onto a warbow, some arrows. But you can see he's well equipped. He's got a pack full of goodies, but no fire starting kit in there either. So they provide you their ideas, or I mean not their ideas, but they might show you what they've got. And seeing that they don't have any fire starting kit, how would you like to react after that? Right, you look them over, they don't have it. Do you want to help Nanami build a fire, or Namani build a fire? Do you want to maybe go with Heath, gather some bedding, or something else?
Um,
It's still Star's turn, right? So all she
I
wanted to
know.
know
I was
was,
just like.
oh yeah,
I'm sorry, I completely zoned out. What?
so you used their turn so far to look over their gear and ask them if they have a fire starting kit, but they both kind of like shook their heads in the middle of the discussion, like, no, we don't got it, right? So what would you rather do then, or
Okay.
say?
Can I go ask the other
You
party
want to go look for the
members?
others? Yeah, okay. So yeah, you can do that. Yeah, so Star leaves the crew at the entrance, and she goes off to look for the others who went off to gather some wood. And they didn't go very far away, right? They just went nearby to gather what branches they could find in the local area. They don't have to go very far for that. Back to the wood collecting group, right? So you've taken some time to gather some branches. You took some time to discuss how to actually make torches out of them. But now it's your turn again, right? So I know that you had some time to discuss how you would fuel them, and you were thinking about using sap, right? So do you want to keep discussing
And
that
branches
idea,
up.
or do you want to actually take action?
I want to take action.
Okay, so what would you like to do on your turn, Akami?
I would like to try and grab a few of the sticks, put some sap on them. I don't know how thick the sap is, but put some snap on it, and then put some bark on there too.
Okay, so looking
Two of
at some of the trees, just basic observation, right? You look at some trees, the amount of sap you find is, practically too little to actually have a real effect, right? It might burn for a split second, right? Uh, but it's not enough sap to actually really create some good fuel in there. You can gather bark, of course, and wrap it around as kindling to get the fire going, but you need something that will burn for a long time. And sap is a good source, but on these trees, naturally, there's just leaks of sap, right? Like little bits here and there. So if you have a tool, maybe you can get more sap out. Makes sense? But there's not enough sap on these trees to actually
Can I?
create a good torch.
Okay. Can I use an action to stab the tree to get more?
Yeah, do you have a tool for that? You have a dagger or a spike or something?
I have a short sword.
Alright, you could use your sword, but it would ruin it. It would damage the blade a bit, right? So, you might even chip it. It's meant for combat. You might have to resharpen it. But yeah, you can definitely use it to twist a hole into the tree. You want to do that? Or make a hole?
I'll ask. I'll ask Luca to see if he has anything that he can stab a tree with to get more sap.
But you might want to save your sword for combat and use a tool instead, which are,
Yes.
more durable than weapons. Let's see.
I
Alright, so you...
talk with Luca to see if we can get more sap out of the tree.
Yep,
See what
and
he's
then
got.
it's going to be Luca's turn. So Luca, while Okami immediately took action to look over a tree and observe how much sap there was. And he was figuring the situation out. He was like, well, I need to make a hole in this, right? So he's turning to you, Luca, and asking you for tools if you have anything. But rather than look at him and discuss tools with him, would you rather take an action yourself, or do you want to just kind of uh, react to Okami's move or something else?
I'll use my elven knowledge of the woods to assist him in properly extracting sap with his short sword. Or if it'd be better, maybe use a rock if that's more
Hmm.
effective.
All right, so uh, you want to use your elven knowledge? What does that mean? Like, you want to think about what do you want to know something based on the fact that you're an elf, or are you just saying that as in?
No, I'll say hopefully if it's possible, like the fact that he's an elf, maybe they know of a elven way of extracting sap from trees.
Okay, yeah. You wanna we can do a know check to see if you know any other ways you might extract. So you can think, right? Luca, you were watching Akami, right? He's like, follow me, Luca, right? He looks over a tree. He's like, oh man, I don't want to use my sword for this. Do you have a tool? Realizing you don't got a tool, you take some time to think about how elves might extract sap from a tree, right? So we'll do a know check, knowledge check.
Knowledge check.
I'll roll a d6, and you have uh, typically a 1/6 chance to know something that's not commonly known, right? Know something that you don't already know. Um, and you think about it. There's no other way you can think, or nothing randomly comes up into mind. Take some time to think, right? So just the basic things, whatever you know right now of how do you construct sap from a tree, is what your character knows. So you can think longer if you want, but at the very moment, thinking about other ways you can extract trees, or particularly how elves would extract sap from trees, you don't think of any other, or you don't know any other way at the moment, right? You can keep thinking if you want,
And
but
then,
what would you rather do
then I'll
now?
use my rock. I'll use my
Use a
rock to
rock.
start scraping off bark and try to
Okay,
kind of shave off a bit of the tree.
alright, yeah. So, you grab some stone off the ground, or do you want to use one of your own stones? They're sling stones, they're round and usually smaller for shooting. So you
I'll,
want to get a sharp
I'll
rock?
use a sharp rock.
Okay, yeah, you go and grab a sharp rock from the ground. It's not very difficult. And you get to work, right? You start carving up some bark. And you'll do this for perhaps the next turn, right? From 840 to 850. Or is there a particular amount of bark you want?
Uh, I'm kind of like looking to go around like the most moist part of the tree and see if some of the bark when I scrape off has a lot of sap residue on it
Mm.
potentially. So I'm kind of investigating.
Okay, yeah, so you go around, you check out a tree, you look for, I guess your starting action will be looking for a very moist tree, right? With thin bark, perhaps. So you'll do
Can
that.
I respond to what he did?
Yeah,
Because he
so,
answered me, technically.
Akami, on your turn, right? And this is a 10-minute long turn. So you looked at him, um, you realized your
He
own
grabbed
idea
a
wasn't
rat.
really
He
ready. You
grabbed a
asked him for
sharp rock.
tools. He shook his head, had no idea of how else you could do this, but picked up a stone and started carving at some bark. So what would you rather do now for this turn?
I would rather find a kind of lengthy, sharp stone if I can. Not too heavy, and try and just scrape at the side of the tree, like straight down, to try and see if there's any sap that can come out,
Okay. Yep.
and follow suit where he would recommend, like where the sap would come out best,
All
because
right.
I don't want a dry spot.
Yeah, he's working on a tree. You wanna carve at the same tree as him, or do you wanna wait for him to respond to you? You wanna
I'm
ask him what tree you should cut?
I'm kind of around. I'm kind of around the same tree.
All right, you just go to a near tree. I'm like, hi, is this one good? You wanna wait for a response, or you just wanna get to work? Because he's already working at his tree.
I want to wait for I want to wait for a response. Which tree should I go for?
So,
And
as you
find a
guys are
sharp
busy
rock.
doing this, right, we're gonna give other players a chance to also take action. So while this is going on, Victoria, these two have been pretty busy. For the start of your turn, you saw them beginning to discuss of how to extract bark. Um, as they are figuring out how to extract bark and picking up stones and thinking and starting to cut away at bark and these trees, What would you like to do, or how would you like to react to the situation?
I have, to my knowledge, in my equipment, I've got a quiver. Does it have a bunch of arrows?
Yeah, you've got roughly 10 arrows in there.
Is it possible to take an arrow and give it to them to help them extract sap from the trees and continue guarding?
Yeah. So, Kami and Luca, you guys were pretty busy uh, discussing, right, and trying to extract sap from these trees. And in the middle of your work, right, Victoria comes up to you and provides you arrows, or let's see, what kind of bow does she have? Is it,
A
crossbow?
crossbow.
Oh, she provides you corals, which are a bit shorter than arrows, but a bit thicker as well. So she gives you these, or provides them at least if you want them. She's like, hey, maybe this will help. I'll keep watching over you, but do you want some corals, right? Then what do you guys think? You want to use your corals, or do you want to stick to your rocks?
I wanna stick to my rocks. I say that I don't wanna break your stuff. We'll need it for the dungeon. Uh, we'll just use the rocks for now.
Okay, Okami doesn't want it. He suggests that you save it for later. Luca, how do you want to respond or react to Victoria's suggestion or offer?
Can you repeat that again one more time for me, Akemi?
What?
Wait, what was the suggestion again? I didn't fully understand.
So the
Oh,
situation
my
is. Oh,
suggestion
go ahead.
was to save the arrow for later, and I don't want to break her stuff, so we'll need it for the dungeon.
I doubt there's gonna be too much shooting in a dungeon, but might as well just save it. Those things are expensive.
Okay, you stick to your rocks then. So while Victoria's working on guarding you then for the rest of the turn, and you guys work on carving up trees, we're back to Star and Heath and Namani, right? And they were trying to figure out how to get a fire going, right? Um, let's say I think was it Namani and Star? You guys were starting a fire at this point at the entrance together, right?
Yes.
Yes.
But Star went off
Oh yes,
and
Star went to go check on the others to see if they had a fire starting kit, or what was it?
a fire starting kit.
Something. Yeah, something that would
'Cause
help start the fire.
yeah, you looked over the other two earlier. They didn't have it, right? So we'll start with
Yeah.
Star. Star left your guys' group at the entrance, right? She went off to find the others, and they're not far away, right? Short walk over, right? Maybe 10 meters. You find them around some trees, cutting at the bark and such, right? And you asked them, right? Hey, do you guys have a fire starting kit and such, right? And you look over their gear, what they already have on them. I don't think any of them have a visible fire starting kit on the character, so some of them might react to you, suggest to you, or just, of course, shake their heads at you. Um, Crew at the trees, which is Luca, Okami, and Victoria. So Star just arrived. Star, the acolyte, the cleric. She asked you guys if you had any fire starting kits. Do any of you want to respond or react to her, or provide suggestions, or just ignore her?
I do. I want to say I have a rock. Maybe you could try and find a rock that could make a spark with another rock. I make that suggestion.
Yeah. So, as Okami is suggesting you go find some fire starting rocks, right, like flint and steel or something, um, or iron. Uh, Heath, or not Heath, Luca, do you wanna provide your own suggestions to her, or respond to her question, her request? Or do you want to just keep working? Alright, so it sounds like Luca's busy working at the tree. Okami takes a break to share his ideas on what she should do. Victoria, you were on guard, so you weren't really doing terribly much, just eyes and ears open for any monsters nearby. But nothing has arrived yet, and yeah, she's here with you, Star. She's asking if you have a fire starting kit. So how do you want to respond
My
to that?
turn ended already, or?
Nope, not yet. It's just you're getting a response right now. Your results. So your results from Akami is
Oh, okay.
he told you you should go find some fire starting rocks, right? Your response from Luca was nothing, and then we're seeing how Victoria responds to you. So Victoria, how would you like to react to Star?
I would suggest her to try to find some flint stones because they're good for fire starting. But if she can't, then I would suggest her to go back to the old campfire.
Okay, yeah. So you heard them suggest to you various ideas, Star, at this point. What would you like to do after that?
I want to go back to the camp, but I want to ask Emmy if she would also want to go with me, because I don't want to be alone.
Alright, so you're gonna go back to Nanami or Namani first, and then suggest to go back
Yeah,
to camp,
mommy.
to the base camp. Alright. So then, Heath, it's back to you and then Namani. Star basically left the two of you after Namani is starting to make a fire, right? But before, as she's getting ready to start making fire, as Star's leaving to go get to find fire steel or whatever, what do you want to do now? You want to wait at the entrance or something else?
And over at the area trying to find the bedding and stuff, right?
Oh, yeah. So you suggested that. Did you want to make your way actually
Yeah.
there? Okay. So it's like you left the entrance to you went to base camp to find bedding, right? So at
Well,
base camp,
I'm looking for that, but I see them doing what they're doing. Is there anything at the base camp that I can pick up? If not, I'm going to do a different action.
uh, that what do you mean pick up like bedding that you can pick up?
Yeah,
He used
anything
his lost
laying on the
pen.
ground, anything like that. Yeah, is there anything on the ground I can pick up to absorb anything?
To absorb it. Oh, so yeah. So base camp, it all consists of only a large campfire, stockpile of wood, and a few tents, which don't belong to your crew. It belongs to other crews that live out here at base camp. Your crew just arrived here, right? You're back in
All
town
right,
moments ago.
in that case, I'm gonna see what. Cause can I see them what they're doing? Cause they're gathering crap.
No, you're not with them. You left to base camp. Base camp is um maybe like 30 meters from the entrance,
Yeah.
100 feet. So it's not at the entrance, right? It's a safe distance from the entrance.
It's just around the corner. All right. In that case, since there's nothing, I'm just gonna take my warbow, look to the northern trees. So whichever trees are facing the sun on the north side, full send into it, walk up to it, hit it with my dagger at a 45-degree angle, and let the sap drip through.
All right. Yep. So you go onto a tree and stab it. Then let's see.
Make sure it's on the northern side. I'm shooting the warbow into the tree to get this super deep hit. It's gonna go as deep as it possible can. Should be deep enough for the sap.
Okay. So you're gonna start with firing an arrow into the north side of the tree, right?
Correct. Whatever side the sun's on. So if it's north, because it's let's see, we're east, so it'd technically be northwest. So I need to shoot the northwest side of the tree.
All right. Yeah, you get onto the west side. You fire into it. Uh, So you just got down to the base camp. You leave to go to a tree. You fire into the northwestern side. Um, let's see.
It's a war bow. It should go deep enough, being that it's the most powerful bow that I can use if it's not a crossbow.
All right. Yep. So you fired into this tree, and gonna roll to see basically
If it's deep
if
enough, gotcha.
if it's deep enough. Yeah. All right. Or if it just snapped. So I'm gonna say there's a 1 in 6 chance it's not, or a 2 in 6 chance, like a trap check, that it's not deep enough, and it either
I got you.
didn't go deep enough or it broke. Right. So roll that.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, it did what you wanted it to do, which was puncture the tree
Correct.
and release maybe some sap. Alright. Fortunately, it did go deep enough into the tree to cause some sap to start to drip out. Right. So you fired into a good tree,
That congregates on the sun side, so
and
should
some
have a
sap
good
is
amount.
dripping out now. Right, very slowly.
And then I'm gonna walk up to it, hit my dagger under it, so it comes out in a nice stream rather than dripping, so it can come out at a much faster pace.
Okay.
And I do understand it'll damage my dagger. That's fine.
All right. So you get to work. You try to pry it open a little more, increase the flow of sap.
Right.
Hopefully it will drip down a lot quicker or flow out a lot quicker, but we'll see. As you're working on this, we're gonna go back to Namani, who's at the cave entrance, I think, right? Because Star went down to base camp, or not base camp. She went down to the rest of the crew to ask for fire steel, and from there she went to base camp after that, right? And then Namani, you were the only one left at the entrance of the large cave entrance into the stronghold we're supposed to be exploring, right? You decide to start a fire. How do you want to do this? Do you want to gather some wood first, or something else?
Okay, so I want to I want to like gather some dry materials and cut a piece of my tunic off with my dagger and like rub sticks together to start a fire, along with like leaves and stuff,
Okay, so
so that
first
the fire has place.
you're gonna go out and gather materials. First materials you're gonna gather. You gotta list about different materials you want. Sounds like you want some twigs, some branches, some kindling, some dry materials like bark or dried up weeds, vegetation.
I just want leaves, 2 sticks, and like a piece of my tunic, because cloth is easy to light on fire and easy to spread.
Okay, so you'll start with gathering some leaves then, some dried up leaves out here. Unfortunately, it's very hot and moist out here, so even the dead leaves are kind of wet, right? Like you might find dead leaves under like logs or heavy branches or anything like that. You might find some dead leaves, but they'll be wet and damp, right? It's been raining. It's
Then
a jungle out here, right? So it's wet.
yeah, then that's what the my tunic is for.
Right, right. So you're out doing this, and we just finished another game turn. Let's see. So now it is 8:40, roughly. Or no, wait, it's 8:50. Yeah, because we did 8:40 already, so it's 8:50. All right, take another 5-minute break. I'll see you guys in 5. Yeah.
Okay. I'll be back. I'm gonna go make a drink. I'm thirsty. Is Luca here, by the way? Luca,
I'm here. What you need?
you missed your turn.
Was it just the one of what you're asking me to do? At this stage, let's just get the torches. I don't have much input at that point. Until we get in there, I don't really have much more bright ideas.
Yeah. Star came over and asked us about like how she should start a campfire.
Oh,
I suggested flint and steel, like some rocks. So, like
isn't
be
there
able
a
to start a
campfire
fire.
in the camp? Do we need another fire?
Yeah, I'm
That's
going.
that's 30.
I'm over there
Yeah.
right now, getting fired.
Yeah, and I'm starting a fire because I didn't know that they were gonna travel away from me because nobody came and got me, so I'm alone starting a
Hey,
fire.
I said, and I wanted to go get you.
Yeah, but you still never came to me. I don't know what happened there, but you never came to me. You just immediately left.
Hey, that's
and
not
went
my
downtown.
fault. That's not my
You
fault.
just
I said
you
what I
just
wanted
left
to.
It's
and
not.
immediately went
It's not her
downtown.
fault. It's not her
The
fault.
I
lesbian
don't
Just
know
is
what
can't
deciding.
happened
give you.
there. Like I genuinely, I'm not saying it's her fault, but like I genuinely don't know what happened there. Like you were meant to come get me, and then you ended up at the camp entrance, and I'm not sure how that happened.
I'll be right back, you guys. I gotta run and do a little bit of work, and then I'll be right back.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
I'm
You
not
did get
sure
a
how that happened.
choice. You
You're
did get a
super speedy.
choice
I was
to
already gone
actually
before I can
follow
get you,
her.
I guess.
And yeah, you were like you said I'm gonna go get I forgot to say my own name, Namani, and then I'm gonna head back to the camp for some dry materials. But I was already starting a fire, so once you get back with the stuff that is needed for the fire, I'm gonna have already started a fire.
We can make a bigger fire then. Or
But
make it
then what's the
stronger.
point in that? We only need a small fire so we can light a torch, and then we can light the rest of the torches. with the
Yeah,
fire.
and Star is already bringing that. I had a question. Okami, you're a magic user. Don't Are there any spells?
I,
Aren't there spells for like combustion and stuff?
I don't think Akami has developed any spells yet.
Oh.
He's the powerless power user.
Yeah.
Poor Betty.
But y'all
Shame
could
on
have
you.
came and got me with the dagger. Like if y'all just came back to the cave entrance and got me, I had a dagger and I could have helped y'all. It would have saved so much more time.
And 10 minutes on the time is
Whatever.
kind of crazy. Can we like shrink our times?
Yeah,
Like
like
it should
10
not take
minutes.
this long.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Straight to the point. I'm not trying to be controlling, I promise. Love
I
you
think we
guys.
should all at
Sorry.
least have like a minute turn.
I feel like it's just that we're all yapping.
Why?
Like for example, like Heath, he was very straight to the point. He was really good at that, and then like I feel like that's how we need to be. Like we just need to be straight to the point.
Say what
We
you
don't
want,
need
and
to
then next person, like. And don't talk while other people's turns. That's annoying.
meow.
Oh.
I have a bowl of glitter. Y'all want some glitter? Sparkle, sparkle,
Sparkle, sparkle,
sparkle, sparkle.
sparkle, sparkle. Anyway, we decided who the leader was, right? It was.
Who's the
Luca and Okami.
Oh, what?
No, it
Lucas.
was.
No,
Okami.
I thought we said
Luca
that.
is not a leader anymore.
Yeah, because Lucas said that like
He
whenever
didn't
he
even
was
want to be one.
yeah, he said that he didn't even want to be the leader and because he was drinking.
Are we still
And
talking
so,
about this dumb thing?
and then so
No,
we changed
I'm just trying to double
Cleo.
check we are on the same page.
Yeah, and then we changed it to clean up.
Wow, you keep on messing up my
Star,
name. It's not
Star.
that hard.
And then we changed it to Star, but yeah.
We need a second in command, which I think would be
I think it should be me. Me.
Emmy, because I'm biased, or Victoria.
Jesus Christ.
Victoria, you should be biased toward me. Me.
And
I'm
then
not a part
the
of this.
logically, because he's kind of like smart, I guess. What's his name? Arki?
No,
Aiki?
no,
Aiki?
no. I'm hating. No. Heath.
Okay.
Heath.
I'm just. He is kind of smart
Heath
with some
is smart.
decisions.
Heath is
He would
smart.
be.
If Luca was sober, he would be a little bit smarter. Victoria, amazing, beautiful woman. Anyway,
Okay. All right, Emmy. All right.
Aki, I'm picking favorites. Nothing against you. You gap too much, and you had like a 10-minute turn, and I was just sitting there waiting impatiently. So you kind of hurt my feelings. But anyway,
So
Are
the
we?
leaders are me. I'm the
What?
leader, and then the second command would be.
me.
No way.
Well, we decided last break that I
I'm-
was leader, and then we need to figure out the second in command.
Me. I'm a cocky fighter with a huge ego, and
I am back.
and I know how to run a team. Maybe.
I mean, okay. I
I
think we
have a
should
lot
take
of
a vote.
energy, so I have a lot of
Okay,
energy,
so
and so that means that I'll always be ready. That I can I can do anything. I can do anything that I put my mind to. Yeah.
Well, you've basically
All right.
done nothing at the entrance
All right,
for
so
most
she-
of the
Hey, I'm trying
day.
to start a fire, and y'all refuse
yeah,
to
she's
come
over
back
there
and get.
starting a
I
fire.
wanted to use my dagger.
Ladies and gentlemen,
You had
welcome
a
back.
10-minute
We're on the
turn.
next turn.
You had a
We're getting
10-minute
torches.
turn.
So
We're getting torches
Okay, so
You
so we
had
can
a
go in there.
10-minute
the overall
turn.
situation
You had a 10-minute
is
turn.
Emmy,
it's roughly
Emmy.
8:50 in the morning, and the party's still preparing to go into the dungeon. Right. Some of the crew members are out gathering sap right now. Some of us are trying to figure out how to start a fire. But we're gonna take turns again and figure out the situation throughout the whole turn and what you guys want to do, right? So some of the crew members are split, so we'll have to take, you know, turns in a different way, right? We'll have to separate the various turns based on who's with who. So we're gonna start with the area where Okami, Luca, and Victoria are. In case you guys want to react to each other, you might have a reaction to what someone does, um, but only one reaction per. She'll only have one action per turn, right? So we're gonna start with what Okami's trying to do. So the current situation is Okami. Last turn you were working on covering up a tree, right? You were slicing into it, cutting upwards or downwards, trying to reveal
Up
any
and down.
sap, right, with a sharp stone. So you were carving into the tree with a sharp stone, and naturally, a stone is it's a it's not the most effective tool, but it is a tool you could definitely make some progress with, and it managed to
So
slide
is
through
it
some
in my
bark.
inventory now?
Is what in your inventory?
Is the stone in my inventory?
It's in your hand. If you want to report it as something you want to keep, then yeah, we can put it in your, we can list it as one of your items. Is it important enough for that? Okay, sure.
Yes, I think so.
Alright, well,
Sharp stone.
you have no way to carry a stone without carrying it in your hand, so that means you have to abandon some of your gear, right? Currently on the ground is your light shield and short sword, so if you want to keep the stone permanently, you have to discard the light shield or the short sword.
Can I not have it in the hand behind the light shield?
So you want to have it in the same hand that you're holding the light shield?
Yes.
Alright, I guess it's fine, it's just more cumbersome. You cannot effectively wield the light shield
Huh?
anymore. Because you have a rock in there too, right? Make sense? So now both items
Yeah.
are almost useless, right, in that hand, unless you drop one of the two. Okay.
Because the shield's on my arm, right? It's not actually in my hand.
It is not on your arm, it is on the ground right now. If you want to strap it, you need to get arm straps for the shield. It is just a shield with a handle, right? So,
Oh, okay.
straps, to strap it to your arm is a separate item, costs £1. It'd be a shield straps, right?
Alright.
And then your arm would be very heavy. It'd be £5 heavier roughly. So
I'll drop it later.
right. But the situation is that you managed to slice through some bark, pretty much. And were you planning to try to slice deeper, or were you just trying to cut open the bark? Because you managed to cut open bark, revealing the.
I was trying to apply deeper.
Go deeper. All right.
Like,
We'll roll to see if you managed to carve deep enough to have any other results. Okay. Basically, we're gonna do a forced doors check, which is like a strength check. It represents if you were to forcibly slice through the wood with a sharp stone or a jagged, rough stone. Chances are pretty low here because it's not a proper tool, but it is a tool. We'll say there's a 1 in 6 chance you were at least able to get. What's possible in practical is you're not exactly deep enough to see sap pour out, but at least you're able to carve into the actual wood behind the bark. Okay, make some progress there. So we'll see if we made some decent progress with a certain roll. Alright, so if it's a 1 out of 6, we'll say that you're 50% through some of the wood, but if not, we'll say you're 25%. And then 100% means, of course, that you've sliced deep enough to have sap drip out, right? So that's the situation for you. So, of course, it's a fail, so it doesn't mean you completely failed, it means you made some progress, but not a lot. Not as much as you were hoping to make.
So like 25%.
So, half as much progress, yeah. So a quarter of the way through some of the wood, right? Until you can reach a point where there might be some sap dripping out, right? So, you made some progress between your last turn and the current situation. So, do you want to keep digging through this tree or something else, right? So those are results. That's a situation you're currently in. Right?
I want to start stabbing the tree where I cut.
All right, stabbing it like
in a downward motion. Yeah.
In a downward motion.
Stabbing
okay.
it.
Right.
So not rubbing it, stabbing it.
Right. Stabbing down into that same spot over and over, pounding the tree with the sharp stone.
Yes.
Right. Until it splits open or something, right? So you gotta be working on that.
Or
Let's
at
get
least
your
gets
current
deeper.
task. Right. So now we're stabbing into the tree, right? Making maybe a little more progress. Now we sliced open the bark layer and it sliced a little bit into the wood. Now you're digging into it, right? You're stabbing into the tree with the stone now. Hopefully we'll
Yeah.
make some more progress with that.
Yeah.
And as you're working on this, we're gonna go to Luca. So Luca, you can see in the from your last turn to now, last turn, you're working on peeling moist bark from a tree to reveal sap, right? You found a moist tree, and hopefully it was maybe wet with sap. We'll roll the chances because you did go toward a moist-looking tree. So I'm gonna say that there's a uh, instead of a low chance, there's a pretty high chance you might see some sap just sitting right behind the bark. There's a 2 in 6 chance here that there isn't a lot of sap, right? If it's a 2 or 1, it's just a normal amount of sap that you might see behind a naked tree, right? A barkless tree. So naturally there should be, because you went toward a moist looking tree, so it should be rich with sap, hopefully. Turns out it was. It was as you expected. You sliced into a moist looking tree. Peeling off that bark, you revealed a pretty good layer of sap just resting on the wood, right? On the surface, there's a few like natural holes that it's leaking out of, right? So you can dig through those holes and get this thing to drip even more sap, right? What would you like to do from this point forward? You've just revealed a sappy tree. Luca, are you with us?
He
Luca,
said he'll be right back. He has work
Yeah.
stuff. Oh, he's
sorry.
back.
Repeat that one more time for me.
Alright, so you've just revealed, based on the dice rolls as well, that the tree you were slicing through is indeed a tree with some good sap in it, right? It is,
Good.
the wood under the bark was layered in some sap and revealed also some natural leakage, right? So perhaps you might want to start digging into this tree, right? Or would you like to do something else?
If I'll start getting in this thing, let's cover it in some type of flammable material that we can wrap around the sticks and make some torches.
Alright, so what are you doing first? Are you using the sap that's on there to just rub against are you gonna rub your branches against this layer of sap? Or
I'll probably spend a little bit of time increasing the flow, and then
okay,
then we'll probably try to wrap
So-
it in vines.
okay, so you want to open it first and then lead the tree, wrap vines around your branches, and then go up there and start rubbing or applying
Yes.
that sap onto the vines on your branch, right?
Yes.
Alright. Do you want to maybe put the vines on before you do that, or would you rather make the hole now and let it drip?
We'll apply the vines before because sticky.
Okay, sure. Yeah, so it doesn't drip to the ground and ruin it. Yeah, so, alright. Just get things in the right order, I guess. I mean, either way might be a good way to do it. Just preference, I guess. You thought
So,
about it, you decided
did he
to do
get
the vines
sap?
first. What?
I was just wanted to recap.
Oh.
Did you get sap? I wasn't here.
He's getting stuff. It's not even your turn. But if you want, you can take some time to look at his progress and stop what you're doing. Would you like to? Right, you could react to someone else's turn.
Right.
But remember, like, naturally, everything's happening at the same time, right? So, like, while you're doing this, he's doing that. But if you want to stop what you're doing to see what he's doing, that's fine too. But then what you were doing ends temporarily, perhaps, so that you can see what he's doing. But then you don't make as much
I
progress.
just want to
then.
glance over at what he's doing. I don't want to stop what I'm doing. So,
Alright, well,
what do I see?
you're kind of distracted. Maybe you're kind of interested. Maybe you look over to what Luca was doing as you were busy stabbing into your tree, right? Downward motion. You stop for just or maybe you kind of slow down for a brief moment to just see what he's working on, and you see him walking off to grab some vines from trees right now. Right? He's like leaving his tree exposed with sap to grab vines. It appears, right? So it doesn't look like he's extracting
Okay.
sap right now. He just revealed a sappy tree. That's it. And now he's going off the vines, right? Is that fine? Or do you want to know
Can
more?
I use my buckler? Can I use my buckler to like collect the sap?
So you want to stop stabbing your
Shield?
tree, right? Because you just started, but then you stopped immediately.
Yes.
Sounds like you want to collect the sap onto your buckler. It's gonna make your buckler very sticky,
Yes, that's okay.
Okay.
That's okay.
So you go over to his tree and you want to just like rub your buckler against the sap and get it all sticky.
Did he not stab anything into the tree?
No.
Okay, can I stab the rock into his tree at the bottom of where the opening is, so the rock can like drip down into the buckler, so I can fill up?
Okay. So you know just stab into his tree and put the buckler under where it can drip down.
Yep.
Okay, sure. So you stopped what you were doing to stop stabbing
With
into his tree and set your buckler beneath the puncturing
just one
link.
stab with the sharp stone.
The start stone, right, right.
Yeah.
Well, one stab into a tree with a stone might not be enough, right, to make a hole, right? You might make a dent into the wood, you might splinter some of the wood, but yeah, if you want to just do one stab and see what happens, fine too, we'll do that. Alright, so while you guys are busy
Yep.
working on this, and while Luca is busy gathering vines, Okami's switching up his action to, hit a tree with a stone. Hopefully it'll drip into his buckler with one stab. We'll find out momentarily. Um, While all that was going on, Victoria, did you want to keep looking over Okami and Luca? But Luca's walking away. He's getting vines now. So you want to go with Luca, or do you want to stay with Okami, or something else? It's your turn again. Victoria, you with
Hello,
us?
Victoria?
Wait, who are
Alright,
you
I think
talking to?
Victoria, it's her turn again.
Victoria.
Victoria.
Yeah, like I think we're talking.
Hello.
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 So, Victoria, the situation is you were originally guarding these two, right? But Luca's going off to gather vines now that he's revealed a sappy tree. Okami was starting to smash into his tree with his own stone, but then he walks over to Luca's tree to try to extract some sap from his instead. It's your turn again, Victoria. So as they're doing this, as they're starting to do these various actions, what do you want to do? Do you want to keep, no,
It's
Victoria?
okay, continue.
Sorry. I think I disconnected for a while.
It's okay. So what would you like to do now? You want to keep guarding them or something else?
Yeah, I don't think there is much I can do except for guarding them.
Alright. So Victoria just continue to stand watch, right?
Stand
Surveying
watch.
the situation. And you realize that Luca's going off to gather vines, which means that he does have to move away from Akami, right? Here, every now and then to find vines. So do you want to?
Me and Emmy have to go for the night. It's getting a little bit late.
Alright. Yeah, that's fine. So thanks for letting me know. Star and Namani, right? I think Star went off to go get
Yeah.
Namani from the entrance before she went back to base camp, and they're just gonna quit this crew, right? So they're gonna head back to base camp, just disband from the
We're
crew.
gonna run away from everybody because they got annoying.
Say just we don't know if we'll be back again, so just like if you want, you can like exclude us from the game. But
It's okay, no worries. I'll just have you get characters fall back to base camp, and then you'll be NPCs until you come back to play. Some other time,
Yeah.
perhaps. Alright. So yeah, Star
Alright,
and
bye-bye.
Namani are disbanding from the
Bye.
crew.
Bye.
See you. Have a good night. We do only have 50 minutes left of max game time. We started at 10 o'clock, so we've got 50 minutes, 45 minutes exactly. We're making little to no progress, sadly. We haven't even entered the dungeon yet. Do you guys just want to call it quits, or do you want to keep making progress on the torch making?
I want to keep making progress.
Okay,
What about you,
yeah.
Luca?
Maybe we'll be more prepared next
Yeah,
time to
let's
get these
at
torches
least get
made.
a couple mixture torches. Yeah, but as long as we get the torches done, then hopefully
Next time you
next
can enter
adventure will.
some torches,
Okay.
yeah.
Which is probably better because I was gonna
What-
put a
we
60
should
chance.
probably- We should probably see what Grease is doing. Well, Heath. Heath hasn't done anything because he shot a tree and he.
You don't know that, you're
Yeah,
not
I'm
with
waiting
him.
for my turn.
So, Kami and Luca, you're at a tree, not far. You guys are at trees not far from the entrance. Heath is gone, he left, right?
Yeah.
He went back to base camp, which is 100 feet away from the entrance. You guys are about 30 feet away, so he's a good distance from your crew, right? From at least you 3. You guys think he went off to do something else. You don't know what he went to do, but It's just you two and Victoria. Now it's Victoria's turn. She decided to just keep watching over you. But on Heath's turn, Heath, it's back to you. Your situation is you're back at base camp. You see Star and Amani making it back to base camp. They seem to be disbanding. They let you know on the way in. They're like, "Hey, just let the others know we're out. We're not doing this anymore, right?" And they disband from your crew. So Heath, you were busy, of course, making a hole inside of a tree. Get some sap out. And we're gonna see if any sap drips out. We know that you hit a pretty good tree. It started to drip out, and you try to get it to flow. I'm gonna roll to see if it's actually gonna flow or not. Right? So you stab it, you're hoping it flows. I'm gonna say
Yeah,
there's a 2 in 6 chance it does
yeah.
not flow. Right? And that it's not a very sappy tree. Right? Ready to shoot sap out. Right? So it is dripping for sure. We already declared that it's dripping, but whether it's gonna actually flow with juicy sap, 2 in 6 chance that it does not. Okay? So 1 or 2 means it does not. It'll keep 1 or 2 basically means that it will keep dripping, but it will not flow freely. Right. Alright, it is flowing. This is a good tree. So you found a pretty good tree, you hit it in a good spot, and it is starting to flow a bit, right? It's a slow flow still. The sap is thick, but it's kind of thick, right? But
Yep.
yeah, it's a slow flow, and it's dripping down the tree now, flowing down the tree. What do you want to do in response to this? You've got a hole in the tree now. It's
All right.
dripping.
So trees drip for quite some time. They don't just all come out at once.
Yeah.
Now that I have the hole drilled, look for any fat rodents, maramoots, skunks, anything like that, so I can strip them of the skin and take the fat from them and use it as tinder. I can
Yeah.
also use the skin to carry the sap.
Alright, so as this is dripping down, it'll dry up and you can carve it later as resin, right? Or something like that.
Right.
You're gonna leave the tree behind and start looking for animals, small game to hunt.
Go ahead and throw something down that I can remember that it's there. Just throw one of my caltrops or something in the tree if I have any.
Alright, sure, yeah, we'll note that down. We can just post that in our notes, just so we remember. Uh, we'll see. Heath left a caltrop near his sap tree, north of base camp.
So wait, we have a cleric, a thief, a mage user, and what?
So at this point, Heath, you're going off to find a small game to hunt, right? Do you just want to observe from where you're
Right.
standing, or do you want to walk around and observe, or something
What's my
else?
wisdom?
We'll check real quick. Let's see. Alright, you've got a wisdom score of 8, so you're not the best at hearing or
Oh shit, I only
finding
got 8. Ouch.
signs of
Yeah, I guess I'll
animals.
walk around and try to find it.
Alright,
Not far, close enough that I don't run into any baddies. You know what I mean?
yep. In which direction do you want to walk or
So,
observe for
what time is it?
animals? It is roughly 8:50, almost 9 o'clock.
Alright, so I'm gonna walk east because the sun will be in the opposite direction, therefore not blinding me, therefore letting me see more.
Alright, yep. You move east of the camp and you're observing for any signs of small game. Alright. As you're going to be doing that throughout this, from 8:50 roughly to 9 o'clock, we've declared all actions and we've just finished up another turn. When you get back to get your results, or we'll take another small break. When you get back, I'll tell you your results. The results will come in at the time of 0900 hours in the game world. But we know
By
that
the
from
way, are you
08.
feeling better?
I'm still a little sick, but it's okay.
Yeah, I can hear it in your voice.
Yeah, I have to get medicine at some point. From
Get it soon.
8:50 to 9 o'clock, we know that some of you are still extracting sap, while some of you are going out to find wood, while some of you are just guarding the rest of the crew. But that ends our turn from 8:50 to 9. Take another 5-minute break. When you get back, it'll be 9 o'clock in the game world.
Alright.
Got it.
What classes are we again? Because we've got an elf, a thief. What class are you, Victoria?
I'm a thief.
So we got 2 thieves, an elf, and me, which is supposed to be a magic user, but I can't do much magic.
I love that the way you said that. I'm supposed to be a thief, but I can't do magic.
I'm supposed to be a magic user, but I can't do magic. My parents told me that I can do all the magic I want.
I also can't do magic, even though I'm a magic user. So them be the breaks.
I see.
Yeah, where we messed up at the start was not naming a leader, man. That's I was like, oh, okay,
I was
let's see what
fine to be
happens.
the leader. I was fine to be the leader because I just was like, let's just get this over and done with. Let's just get into the
It happens.
dungeon.
When you have indecisive people, that's what happens. You can't do anything about it. So you just have to take
Yeah,
action. And I was busy, so I could not take action. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, technically the leader is gone now.
Yeah, you're good. You guys just keep doing what
So
you're doing. I mean, it is what it is.
is it alright if I become the leader when we all
I don't
group
care.
up?
No, it's not. It's not okay.
I'm kind of like the guy that sits in the corner, just kind of watches, knows what's going on, but doesn't really say much unless asked.
Yeah, exactly,
You know
bro.
what I
Yeah,
mean?
for real.
Like I know how to
Yeah, I
do
know
pretty
what
much
you mean,
anything
bro.
you need.
Yeah, for real.
What?
Exactly, bro.
Dude, why are you interrupting our conversation? We're trying to strategize about our game.
Like
Just meet him,
this.
guys.
Oh, just meet him,
That's
guys.
so
Oh,
rude,
fuck.
guys.
And he's the lead.
Luca, what do you think?
But what in particular?
Me becoming the leader when we all group up.
Sure. Though I don't believe we'll be going in the dungeon this fight.
We won't
but,
be. We don't
yeah.
have time.
No.
Get the torches finished. That way, at least we can have something accomplished in this time. After I kill this
Oh.
rabbit or whatever I end up finding, we can get enough fuel for at least 3 to 5. And the tree sap should be more. We don't have anything to stick on it, but the resin will work fine. You can get animal fat and hold the resin, which then we can easily put torches in, rip it around, melt the animal fat down, let it harden with the resin. That'll give it a pure combustion, and then take whatever we can, stick it to that as tinder light, and we're good.
What if we
Yeah.
just abandon the entire torch making and just go in?
We'll die.
We can't
We'll
see.
die.
We can't see. Yeah.
We will die. There is no
Which,
way we're gonna.
well, I don't know. I have infrared, but the second a fight happens, you guys are all at what -1 for darkness.
There are
so...
kobolds in there. They throw stones at light speed. Good luck.
Wow.
Mm. I've yet to know if I'm actually stabbing the tree and like if the rock, because I'm gonna leave the rock in the tree. I want to leave the rock in the tree and like see if like it can drip on the rock to get into my shield. Like use my shield as a bowl because it's like a little curvature, right? You know,
Do what?
the shield. I
That
have a
would
buckler
be
basically.
that would be a pain to carry.
I don't mind abandoning the shield, even if I have to like just set the shield on fire. I'll set the shield on fire so we
Somebody
can
needs
fucking
to find
see.
flint, man. Just go find a flint rock. I can use my dagger as a steel, and then ta-da, we got fire.
That's what I want to do. When I get a chance, I want to examine my rock to see if it's actually a flint rock.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, your break is over, and we're about to begin the next turn of the game. So, it is currently
Right.
it's currently 9 o'clock. Let's see, in the game world, and from what we last saw, most of the crew was still working on preparing for the expedition, right? Okami, starting with you, based on the situation you're in. I'm just gonna lay out the situation for the whole crew real quick, and then you guys can decide what you're doing as well. But Okami, from your last turn, you were working on extracting sap from the sappy tree that Luca revealed, right? You stabbed into it
Yes.
with your rock. The one stab wasn't
I want to
enough. You
lodge it
dented the
there.
tree. So realizing that it wasn't enough to cause it to drip or anything like that, did you want to keep driving your stone into it to have it actually drip down, or was it just the one smash or something else?
Uh, it was just the one smash. I want to wait by I want to wait by Luca, and like I want to talk with him. Like I can't really help much. There's not much I can do.
Okay, so let's say
Um,
instead of
but
yeah, so you only give it one little bump, right? And then you went after Luca, who was gathering vines. So
Yeah.
Victoria is trying to guard both of you, so you regroup with him, so it's easier for her to guard the two of you. And as Luca's grabbing vines from some of these trees out here, what do you want to talk about with him?
I just said, there's not much I can do with the trees, but I want like what shape is my shield? I want to know what shape it is.
It's round, circular. It's a buckler.
It's round. Is it like a curvature, like a kind of like a ball,
Kind of like a
or
plate.
is it just flat?
It's mostly flat.
Is it
It's got
like
a round bust, or yeah. It's got a round. I forgot what they call it. The
the round bump on the outside, and
Yeah.
the rest is flat, and it's just made of wood?
well, it's made of metal. It's a buckler shield.
I wanted to suggest to him that there's not much I can do and see what he needs help with. And I
just
and I want to, after I tell him that, I want to do something else as well. That's
Alright,
what I
so
want to do.
you tell him that there's not too much you can do here. And what would you rather do then?
I want to examine the rock that I found, the sharp rock that I found. I want to see if it's a flint rock. At least.
No, it would be like a normal rock, like maybe granite or something like that. Something surface level.
Okay. Then I just throw the rock away.
Okay. Uh, what else would you like to do throughout this turn? It's a 10-minute turn, so
Help. I want to help Luca do whatever he needs to do.
he's gathering vines. You want to help him gather more vines?
Yeah.
Alright.
I'll just follow Luca for right now, and help him.
And Luca, on your turn last turn, you were gathering vines. You made some progress, right? Okami was letting you know while you were gathering vines that he doesn't know what else he can do, and starts gathering vines with you. So you have been gathering vines for a while though, while before he has. So you made decent progress. And were you? How much vine did you want? Only enough to maybe wrap the heads of these branches, or
yeah, that's all I need. Enough
okay?
branches.
Yeah, there's plenty of vine like that. Let's say maybe a foot of vine on each branch, right? You would wrap the head of a. Or do you want more than that? Maybe 3 feet, like a yard worth of vine on each branch.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Right. So you went around gathering as much vine you could, and with your 5 branches that you collected, you wanted to wrap roughly 3 feet of vine around the head of each, or the top of each branch, roughly, or at least one end, right? So,
Correct.
you know, I could see your character out there in the middle of this jungle, pulling down vines. But it maybe take only about 10 minutes to get yourself some vine. It'd be roughly 10 to 20 feet, 15 foot on average each vine that you extracted from these trees, which is plenty of vine. Maybe you only grabbed like 2 sets of vines, and that's plenty of vine to start wrapping your branches. So you actually didn't take too much time grabbing vines because you already had enough vines pretty quickly, right? So instead, I'm gonna say at the start of this current turn at 9 o'clock, you already gathered from your last turn. You already gathered, a couple vines that you used to wrap your branches already. And wrapping the branches with the vine, maybe it took a minute each, right? You would sit down, break a good chunk of vine off of the main length, like you said, a meter long or a yard long. You would wrap it and then you would secure it, knot it, maybe something like that. I would say it takes a minute each, so roughly 5 minutes. So you managed to get the vines from last turn. You managed to, and that was a 10 minute roughly a 10 minute turn, right, last turn. So I'm gonna say at the start of 9 o'clock, you already finished securing vines into all 5 of your branches. So your branches are good to go. Now with this next turn though, you can use the next turn to start, of course, uh, applying the sap onto the branches, or I mean your vines, right? The vined up torches. Make sense? You want to work on that, or do you want to do something else this turn?
Yeah, I'll just wrap it up, and then then me and Okum Aki can start putting sap on them.
Yep. Yeah. So at 9 o'clock, Akami, right? You're able to grab like maybe from last turn to this turn, you were able to grab like one vine, use the rest of his vine as well, and for this turn, you could start applying the vines to your branches like he did. For 9 o'clock
Yep.
to
I'm gonna
9:10.
start applying it to a few of the branches.
Because you already had enough vines by the time 9 o'clock began. So from 9 to 9:10, you would be basically applying the vines to your branches, and then the last 5 minutes you would be working on getting that sap applied to your current to your vined up branches, right? Uh, which
Yeah.
that's from 9 to 10, and while you're doing that, of course, we already know Luca's already done with that. He's starting the turn off with just rubbing the sap onto his, right. He's almost done.
Yep. I
So
wanna I wanna ask him for help to make this go quicker.
yep. If he finishes quicker, then he'll help you out, right? Get yours. Maybe right after you finish wrapping one up with mine, he will take that one and start rubbing sap onto it right after he finishes with his, right? If there's enough sap, and this is a very sappy tree, so you've made a hole in it, or there's no hole yet, but he's about to make a new hole in it, right? Luca, he was saving it for later, right? You almost tried to make a hole in it, but you decided not to. Um, you did one smash, and it wasn't enough. Alright, so while the two of you are busy doing that, Victoria, you have been watching these two and your surroundings for the past, 30 or so minutes, right? No signs of any monsters or encounters out here, right? You're on guard. Nothing new to report, right? No major changes, nothing unusual is going on. Do you want to keep guarding these two, or do you want to take a different action?
I think I'll go back to the entrance of the ruins.
Okay, make your way back up to the entrance, not far away. Anything else you want to do there, or do you want to just guard the entrance, or something else?
Just wait for the crew to come back.
Alright, ready up at the entrance. Sounds good. Perhaps you will tell me what you want to prepare now that you're guarding the entrance, or, returning to the entrance.
My crossbow.
Okay. Alright, good. Okay, and then back to Heath. Heath, you went around walking around, observing for any signs of small game. And here in this jungle, typically there's going to be a 2-6 chance to spot some small game. A small game animal in 10 minutes. Any signs at least of them. You might not actually see it, but any signs, and then we'll determine the distance after. But 10 minutes of observing for a small game. 2 in 6 chance typically out here, but with your penalty it's a 1 in 6 chance. Alright, so we're gonna roll to see if you saw anything like that in the past 10 minutes. Perfect. Alright. So a short walk, halfway through your turn, roughly 5 minutes later, into your little walk, observing for small game animals. You spot out here in this jungle, let's say, you spot a squirrel on a tree,
Rabbit.
right? So a squirrel has roughly maybe a pound of meat, a pound of fur, a pound of guts and bones, right? Or maybe half as much, right? So maybe half a pound of meat, half a pound of bones and guts, and half a pound of fur. It's pretty small. It's a very small animal. So, you want to take a shot at
It
this?
is what it is.
I'm gonna check
Can't
the
blast
distance.
his ass, man. I need it.
You were surprised by it. It was not surprised. Oh, you both were surprised. So, it was danger close, right? Basically at
Sounds about like squirrels.
30 feet, roughly, you guys were surprised by each other, right? So you passed it, and it, like you just heard a twitching behind you after, you already walked a short distance from it. You walked past it because you were surprised and it was surprised, and on its surprise, it didn't even notice you passing it either. So it was just minding its own business, which was basically it was on a tree, just like chewing into the bark, right? So you heard that
Squirrel.
chewing sound, and you turned around and saw it in the tree, 30 feet away from you. Okay, and you took aim and you shot at it, right, with your bow bow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And also, we lost one arrow from earlier. It was lost in the tree. So it's gonna account for that arrow lost as well. Alright, and the second arrow might be lost as well if we can't extract it from the squirrel, or if we lose it. But
Are we
for
gonna
surely one
take
arrow was lost.
our stats out?
Alright, so here you go, taking the shot at the squirrel. It's a small creature. Because it's so small, it's got a pretty good bonus. Um, Being this small, just like a halfling has +2 against large, it's so small that it's got +4 because it's basically tiny compared to you. So it's small and quick, but it's not moving, and you're shooting it from the side. So I'll give you the flank bonus, I'll give you a close range bonus. It does have the high ground, so -1 for that. So total penalty and bonus, we'll start with all bonuses first. +1 for short range, +2 for flanking.
Oh shit.
Dexterity, let me check your dexterity bonus. Is it, you got a low bonus? Looks like, or you got a good bonus,
Pretty sure
right?
it's plus one.
+1. Alright, so you're at +4 now, right? Now, uh, because it's so small, it has a or it has a +4 bonus to not be hit, right? Compared to you. It's so small, right? So, all it brings to 0, and then, it has high ground, right? So you have a -1 there. So total bonus slash penalty combined is just a -1. That's it. Alright, now we're rolling.
Rip.
It's a hit. And your damage is instant tap. It's only got like 1 hit point, right? Your arrow goes right through it, and it dies on the spot, right? So, falls down from the tree, your arrow went inside, and with a extractor arrow, there's a 50% chance it's bent or broke. We'll roll for that. Odds it is fine, evens it broke. Alright, it's fine, yeah. So you shot him, right? It went into him, into the tree, or no, just into him, right? It didn't go all the way through, almost went all the way through, because it's a very powerful bow. He fell to the ground,
Yeah.
you pull the arrow out of him, you wipe it off, you put it back in your quiver, so you got some small game. It's 0.5 pounds of meat, 0.5 pounds of bones and guts, 0.5 pounds of fare, right? Roughly a pound and a half of weight.
Main thing I'm looking for is the fat in the skin, and I gotta eat, I guess. So whatever.
Yep, a snack, a good snack for sure. Alright, so I'll add this squirrel to your inventory. You've got yourself a dead squirrel.
Hell yeah, that's my favorite kind of squirrel.
Alright. We just completed another turn of the game. Turns are going by a little faster now, so we have less players. But that was from, or actually, no, that was the results from your last turn. So, from 9 to 9:10, Heath, do you want to keep hunting or do you want to do something else?
I mean, fuck it, I need fat. See if there's any pigs or anything around. So mid game and, I mean, in the
Alright.
jungle. I mean,
You
there's
want to
probably better
observe for
shit
large
around.
game signs? So, chance of finding large game, typically you need to spend about an hour looking for large game at least to have any
Yeah.
chance of finding them. Small game is a lot more common. So 10 minutes
Yeah.
of work or 10 minutes of searching, hunting, you will find signs. But roughly an hour might go by before you find any signs of large game. So,
Gotcha. Well,
alright.
just
Yep.
I guess go back to camp with what I got. Go ahead and drain out the fat. Do what I can. Try to get at least one torch made once they get back.
Alright. So, in that case, you're headed back to camp then. Going back west.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, take another 5-minute break. And when you get back, we'll start our next game turn. It is now, when you get back, it's going to be a 9-10 in the game world.
All right. All right. So it's just you and me together, Luca. Victoria went back to wherever. Keith is nowhere to be seen since we left to go into the forest. What did you want to do next, Luca?
After everything's torches made, let's retire and hopefully find a new party next time we play.
Retire.
So, I mean, call it a night essentially. We have the sap, we got the vines, wrap it up, lather them, and hopefully they'll catch fire.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
As a new player, I don't think I'm really doing much.
We didn't really do much this game at all. Don't worry about it. Nobody really did anything.
Yeah. There was a lot of arguing at the start because there was 2 egoists in the call. They're not here.
Not necessarily evil. It's just somebody who didn't want to. A lot of people had no decision-making skills. That's usually how it goes whenever there's multiple people that want something, and then nobody wants to make a decision. Usually, people don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or whatever they want to do, and they can't make a decision, or they want to do things by a group. Group rule does not work. Period. Whenever you're a small group, you need to set ahead. Somebody has to make decisions. If somebody doesn't like the decision, they could speak up, but somebody has to make a decision. And usually, you want somebody who's headstrong, who can make a decision rationally, right? Because whenever you get
Yeah.
into a bad situation, they gotta make it quick. They also gotta be
I
okay with
understand that.
bearing the fact that they might die, right? Like you might be the reason your team dies, and you gotta understand as leader, like you gotta think about that. You don't want your team dying, right?
Yeah.
I can
I
tell
get
you
it.
right now, we were not equipped for that hole. I'm kind of glad we didn't go in as somebody who plays this game a lot. I was like, we're all gonna die.
Yeah, nah. I know that I wanted to like talk to my party because it would have been my first adventure into an actual
Oh, you're good.
dungeon. So I wanted to like kind of run by things with everyone else.
Yeah, like
But I'm
for your
starting to
first
understand the
adventure,
game a bit more.
yeah, you're good, man. Like for your first adventure, nobody died. That's a plus. Usually, whenever I get new guys in here, like they get toasted quick.
Like
Yeah,
they
didn't
went
really
straight into the
encounter any
dungeon.
adventures.
Yeah, they were so dead, dude. I was like, nobody has shields, nobody has good AC, nobody has plate armor. Fucking 5 rocks gonna kill everybody. I got my
Yeah.
bow, so I could have been out of their range, but they're like that place. If it's the place I think it is, it's like a long tunnel, and you're screwed.
Does your stats increase at all?
Mine? Why would mine increase?
No, like it like we have default stats like
You can
the
train them.
stats over the side. You can train them.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's the strongest? I wonder. I can't see all of our stats because half the stats are just Star. Star's not here. You and Luca are there. Luca's probably the strongest out of the 2 of you.
Uh,
I don't know about Victoria.
I have no money. Honestly, if I rolled better my money, I'd have been so happy. And I kind of didn't want to lose my character, so I did not mind not going in the dungeon.
Hmm.
Finally had good stats for once.
Except for your charisma, you look ugly.
Fuck my charisma. Literally.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
I have decent stats, I think.
Though my AC should probably be better because my dexterity is like 16, I think. So it's
Yes, it
probably
is. It's right there. At the bottom
so.
there.
What I'm
You've
trying. I
got
have to look.
13 strength, 11 intelligence, 11 wisdom, 16 dexterity, and 10 constitution, and 6 charisma. Charisma is your only bad stat.
Yeah.
But your strength and dex is probably your best.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's now 9:10 in the game world, and we've made some more progress. Basically, at this point, we'll start with Luca and Akami. They have finished making their makeshift torches, right? They made basically 10 total, right? 10 total makeshift
Yes.
torches. So I'm gonna switch this up and put in your inventory. Starting with Luca, you now own 5 makeshift torches. So makeshift, they're makeshift enough to work. So makeshift torches should last maybe a turn each, 10 minutes. You have 5 of these. And then, of course, the other character.
And
owns
I
these
don't
two.
have the stone anymore. I don't have the stone anymore as well.
Oh, you want to get rid of it?
Yeah, I already got rid of it like 20 minutes ago.
Let's see.
20 minutes ago.
What is my
Oh,
AC? It
I'm not
should
sure
be
about that.
7.
You probably already had it 20
Yeah,
minutes
because
ago.
when I came over to Luca, I threw away the rock.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, you tossed it. That was like 5 minutes ago, so, in the game world.
Yeah.
Or 10 minutes ago. Right, but it's now 9:10. So at 9:10, the results are in, and we just finished, of course, making our torches. So at the start of this turn, Kami and Luca have in their inventories 5 magic torches. Now the thing is, Kami, you have no way to carry these torches except by hand. Luca also has no way to carry them but by hand. But the thing is, Luca only has a sling, but he can put that in his pouch, right? And then he can carry the torches in his hands. So if you want, you can give them all to Luca to carry, since you have a shield and a sword to carry them,
asked
right?
Luca, does he have enough room to carry these torches that we made?
It might be best for him to be the torch guy.
Can I carry them in my arms, I guess?
Yep. Yeah, all 10. Because if he wants to use his shield and short sword to carry those around, right, he should give you all the branches since you're already carrying branches, right? Or not branches, but torches, makeshift torches. So that might be our best choice rather than, make both of you carry torches and then now you can't use the shield and sword, right? So you're already carrying torches, you should just carry all of them, I suppose, right? Since you're already the guy doing that. So is that fine?
Yeah.
Yeah. Between the two of you, just gave them to Luca. All right.
You're gonna have to take the branches out of my inventory.
Yep.
Also, could you remove the other people's stats that aren't there?
Sure.
So it's
Keep them
easier
out of the way.
for you.
It's easy to view this.
Put them in maps and notes.
No, they go in characters.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so from here, from 9:10 to 9:20 at this point, Luca and Okami, do you know what you want to do, or do you guys want some time to discuss?
Do you want to head back
I'll
to the
ask-
base?
I would like to head back to the entrance and see what Victoria is doing, and then see where Heath is at, and just wait for him. I think
Alright, so
that we should just wait for the rest of the party to show up at the entrance.
okay, Okami's suggesting this to you. What do you think, Luca? You want to head back to the entrance and
Yeah,
check
I
on
agree.
Victoria? Alright, so you guys agree. So now you're gonna take the action to make your way to the entrance. You're not far from it. So you walk over to the entrance. You're gonna find Victoria there. And Victoria, as you were at the entrance, you were waiting there on guard, waiting for the rest of your crew to come back. You noticed Okami and Luca are making their way toward you, right? Or they were talking at first, but then now they're making their way toward you. What would you have been doing in that time? Were you just waiting still, or were you taking some other action?
I was just playing around with my crossbow.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you're just looking it over, checking if everything's good to go, right? Um, and then they arrive, and the two of you find Victoria here, right? So you're all three together. You don't see Heath. Akami, you said you want to see if Heath was here. He's not. So it's just Victoria. Um, now that you're all three at the entrance, you guys want to take some time to discuss, or do you guys want to wait here for Heath or something else?
I think we should wait here for Eve.
Mhm.
Wait for the rest of the party
Yeah.
because we don't know what where everyone else is.
Right, right. So you guys wait for a bit. Maybe Heath will show up. Heath, you made it back to base camp by 9 o'clock, or 9:10, I mean. It's currently 9:10, you're back at base camp. You've got a squirrel hanging from your belt, right? You just hunted this thing down roughly 10 minutes ago. Now that you're back at base camp, you want to make your way to the entrance. You see two of your party members here that disbanded, right? That would be Star and Namani, right? So they left your crew, but the rest of your crew is nowhere to be seen at the moment.
And the other, there's the other one, Odysseus.
Oh yeah,
I think
Odysseus, he fell
is
asleep.
asleep at
He
the
already
camp.
never woke up.
I'm just gonna hang out at the camp, man. Actually, today's kind of shot, so it is what it is.
You want to disband?
Yep. Because if we go in there, we're dead.
So we only do have 10 minutes of game time left before we have to end the session, right? We only play maximum of 3. So I guess if it's alright with y'all, we'll just wrap it up here, make your way back to base camp and end the adventure for the day. You get back, maybe you can start up and be more prepared for the next delve, right? Or you can take more time to prepare as well. It's up to you. But is that fine with y'all? You guys want to wrap it up here, or you want to play these last 10 minutes?
No, I'm fine wrapping it.
No, let's
Yeah,
just
I'm
wrap
fine
it up.
wrapping it up.
Yeah. Appreciate your
Yeah.
participation today. Thanks for showing up to play, guys. If you're new, thanks for giving us a try. Hopefully you'll try again. But if not, no worries.
Yeah.
I know we didn't get much done today, but made some good preparation. No one died. So that's good.
No
Getting
one
ready
died,
for.
that's the big thing.
It's always good news if no one dies, right? Better this than death. Death is always just going backwards.
Makes you
right?
guys feel any better. The last 2
Alright.
weeks I have played, I died 5 times in one weekend, and then another day I died, or my entire crew died 2 times in a row. So
Insane.
Hey, at
Yeah.
least I want to go. We go back to camp, and are we able to see Heath there?
Yeah, of course.
I'm just
Heath and Odysseus?
You can wrap
Do
up
we all
with
know
the
where
discussion.
everyone is? Yeah.
Any last things you want to discuss before we end the game? I guess.
Yeah.
What I want to ask what Heath did.
I just got a tree all sapped up over there. You could probably make some torches out of that. I got a single kill. I'm eating it. Fuck you. And then I got some fat and some other stuff.
Okay, I tell you, Luca. Maybe we can use the sap from that tree when we, as well.
Decide to make some more torches
We
next
can put
time
more
if you
sap
want.
on. We can put more sap on the torches that we already have because you said it has a low percentage of being lit up, so we want to do that. Alright, so
Alright.
I asked Luca if he wants to do it now or later.
Well-
It's probably best not to get them set up before West. They'll probably burn out.
I think what he did was the vines work as something to actually put the sap on. The sap itself will work as a fuel, but if you want something to be to ignite the torch in the first place, make it more flammable, you might want to wrap it with some bark or kindling too, right? That way it's easier to at least start the fire, right, on there. You have enough sap on there. It's covered as much as it can be without just dripping off, right? So you've layered the
Okay.
one end in sap, right? The vines are there to hold the sap there, right, a little better. So it doesn't just naturally the vines allow you to put more sap on the end of the branch, right? Increase the capacity because there's more things to cover with sap. If it was just a branch, there would be less surface area to cover with sap, right? But the vines increase that surface area and the amount of sap you can actually put on there, right? And the bark or dry leaves or anything like that will of course make it more flammable so that when you start the fire on there in the first place, it will actually ignite and burn, right? But it wouldn't serve as fuel really. It would just get the fire going, right? What actually will burn would be, of course, the sap as a fuel, right? Hopefully.
Yeah.
All right. Good job, guys. Thanks for playing. I hope to see you at the next one. Have a good rest of your day. Take care.
Yeah.
Toodaloo, toodaloo.
Okay.